this amazing video of a Boston police officer was swarmed with expletives while responding to a call in a neighborhood this week. Video shows officer being taunted and harassed as he tries to de-escalate the situation. This will not be safe for work. So as we play it, just be aware. It's not safe for work. Let's start. It's only 42 seconds.
Yo, bitch with a gun in your hand, bitch ass nigga. Yeah.
Well, we're into it 5 seconds, and we already have the N-word and several other words. Clearly, we're looking at a Boston police officer. He had a flashlight looking into a vehicle, and he is surrounded in close proximity by several gentlemen on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
He's obviously in his uniform, clearly marked front, back, left, right.
You're not about that. You're never about that. No, you a bitch.
All right, right here, you can see the officer glance down to with some concern, in my interpretation, as to what this gentleman here has in his hand. Look how closely all of these people are to the officer as he holds his flashlight.
No, you a bitch. Yeah, it's unopened bottle. What you gonna do? I just came from the store. It's unopened. Yeah.
And now this guy here, this other guy, has his iPhone out and is recording the whole situation. And apparently he's not the only person that's recording the situation, because there's obviously somebody that's making the video. And some of you might remember that there's a state representative down the Cape, Stephen Exaros. Do I have that right? He's a Republican, and he recently filed a bill that said that you can't, according to the bill, you can't record police officers within 25 feet if they're conducting their official business, if I understand the nature of the bill. And clearly, under the bill's provision, which is not passed, this would be a violation of that law. The problem here with this video, and we'll get back to the full video in just a second, is it's crystal clear that this officer understands that if he does anything, nobody is going to back him up. Not the sergeant back at the station, certainly not the mayor, not the district attorney. In fact, the district attorney would love to prosecute a white cop for beating up on these gentlemen here on the street, because the district attorney wants to become the attorney general. That is crystal clear. And of course, this is all within the echo of George Floyd. What the officer, in my opinion, should have done, and we don't have a larger context quite yet of this entire situation, but he should have cleared the immediate area so that he can do his job, which is apparently search the vehicle, so he can do his job without this type of imminent threat with only feet away. Representative Exaros, there is already multiple laws that could have been enforced if only the officer believed that he would have any support from the higher ups here, from the food chain here. He clearly knows in his heart that no one is going to support him. And therefore, he doesn't do the most basic thing, which is clear the sidewalk. And there is already a law in place that says, hey, if an officer gives you an order to clear the area as they conduct there's already a law for that. We don't need this other law that says you can't have a camera. The officer should have said, hey, if you want to record me, fine. If you want to verbally harass me, fine. You step back a certain distance, whatever the distance he needs, whatever the distance he prefers, you step back while I go do my job. Let's dive back into the video.
No, you bitch, nigga. What you want, bro? Bitch ass. Say something. Do something. Fuck out of here, nigga.
Say you're a bitch. Take that shit and keep it walking.
They're laughing at him. At some point, and I know like the machismo, right, aspect, but at some point, you've got to say, hey, this is my sidewalk. This is my corner, not your corner, right? And you've got to control the immediate area. I'm guessing they teach that to you at the academy, but I'm also guessing that in real life, he has learned the hard way that nobody is going to support him if he actually tries to make his environment safe. If he actually tries to make his environment safe, nobody will support him. What was the safest thing for that officer in that moment? God, I hate that phrase. It was to control the area and have the crowd push back a little bit. Now, clearly, you can see he has a vehicle in the background. There's a police car with their lights on in the background. So there's got to be at least one other cop nearby, you would think. But we don't know for sure, as we haven't seen a longer video. Yeah, there's the cop car right there. And in fact, and I don't know if I cannot recognize where this is. That looks like, I'm going to say something that's totally racist now. That looks as if it's a paddy wagon. Did I really say that? It's a paddy wagon. Wow, you can't say that. Oh no, yeah, that looks like it's a paddy. Oh, Jack, that is still a prerogative. That is still something you can say. You see, you can make racial epithets about Irish people. That's fine. You can still say paddy wagon. I was not aware of that. So, okay, I stand corrected. You can say the phrase paddy wagon. That appears to be a paddy wagon in the background. You don't get a really good look at it, but that appears to be a paddy wagon. I cannot nail this location off the top of my head. There is a large building here, which just kind of blurs out. I'm not sure where that is. It could be River Street in Mattapan. I'm not exactly sure. Let's take another look at the video.
Yo, bitch with a gun in your hand, bitch ass nigga. Yeah.
You're just a bitch with a gun in your hand, you bitch ass.
Yeah. You never about that. You never about that. No, you a bitch. No, you a bitch. Yeah, it's unopened bottle. What you gonna do? I just came from the store. It's unopened. Yeah. No, you bitch, nigga.
What you want, bro?
Bitch ass. Say something. Do something. Fuck out of here, nigga.
You say you're a bitch. Take that shit and keep it walking.
You a bitch. You a whole bitch, nigga.
Completely and absolutely disrespecting this officer. What does that say about our society? And again, credit to the officer for understanding that nobody was going to back him up. Credit to him to showing some significant restraint. Major credit to him. Yeah, because clearly if he had done anything, if he had even looked at these people, these gentlemen on the sidewalk, even more aggressively than he did, if he had even like smirked at them, he'd be in deep trouble, because through the George Floyd revolution, you're not allowed to actually do what's required to maintain order as a police officer in urban America. Understand that we have bad people in our cities, in our suburbs. We have bad people all over the place. Countryside, go out to Wyoming, there's bad people everywhere. Most people are good. But there's a handful of bad people out there. And understand that because of what happened with the George Floyd situation, our police officers are now, how do I want to say this, defanged from their ability to protect themselves and others. And that's a significant source of, how do I want to say this? They've been emasculated. Sorry, female officers. They've been emasculated. And the people that are bad, the bad guys know that. They know, and they're emboldened by it. This video is an indictment of the power that we have taken away from police officers. Police officers, are there some bad apples in police? Absolutely. But the super majority, well more than 90% of police officers are good. And they want to do the right thing. But they all now know that nobody has their back. And if you look at somebody on the sidewalk the wrong way, you're going to be in deep doo-doo, especially in a jurisdiction like the city of Boston. And so, even when this police officer should have controlled the sidewalk for his own safety and for the safety of whoever was ever in the vehicle for whom he's clearly searching the vehicle with his flashlight, and for everyone's safety, he should have had a perimeter. He should have been able to feel confident in enforcing that perimeter. But no, he knows the score. That's not going to be tolerated. So therefore, he's placed in a position where he's at risk and everybody on the sidewalk is at risk. It becomes a more dangerous place. Here's the irony. It becomes a more dangerous place because of the revolution from George Floyd. And that's just a fact. Very disturbing. Very disturbing. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see here. RH, what happens when there's no dad in the home every goddamn time? Well, RH, I'm so glad that you said that, because Democrats love to talk about gun control. We have to talk about gun control, right? The reason why they want to talk about gun control is because they don't want to talk about what leads to gun violence. And what leads to gun violence are big government policies, the war on poverty, for instance, from the Johnson administration, which has destroyed families, which destroys families to today. Supposedly war on poverty, but it's a war on families across the countryside, in all environments. Doesn't have to be an urban environment. And it's a war on families, no matter what color you are, or stripe, or polka dotted. It's a war on families. And when you eliminate the father, thank you so much, RH, from the equation, which is what the Johnson administration programs have effectively done. You eliminate the voice of reason. You eliminate discipline from the household. And I think that's exact. And then you get what we see here in the video, right? Right. You have to have a healthy respect for authority. Who delivers that in most families when there's a healthy family dynamic? It's the dad, right? It is the dad, RH. And there's always this balance in being a father. I'm a father. Maybe you are too. I think in the Bible, we learn about the importance of being the compassionate father. You have to have discipline, not only in the household, but in society as a whole. But as a father, there is that balance a point where you've got to make your point, right? Right. You can't let the kids run the household. There's got to be law and order. There's got to be discipline. And when you eliminate the father from the equation, that lesson never gets taught. Thank you so much for chiming in with that. That was very, 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 very important. I'm so glad that you added that. Thank you, RH.